Grounds for divorce in California, the most common is irreconcilable differences, which is that you have met a parting of ways and that one of you at the very least no longer wishes to be together. There are other grounds such as incurable insanity, but our most common, number one, 99.99% of the time, is irreconcilable differences. This is different from an annulment, which generally would be unsound mind, i.e. insanity, physical incapacity, fraud, other things like that. But 99.99% of all divorces are based on irreconcilable differences. Assets in California are divided by a simple time rule, which is, was the asset acquired during marriage? It is presumed to be community property if the asset is acquired during marriage. If you want to assert separate property, then the burden is on you to show that, one, the asset was acquired prior to marriage or after separation, or was received by gift or inheritance during marriage, or transmutated into separate property from community property during marriage. But the overall presumption is anything acquired wherever located is community property if it occurred during that marriage. Alimony is generally awarded if one party makes more money than the other party. Now, we separate that out in between short-term marriages and long-term marriages. And again, we separate it out between temporary support and permanent support. A short-term marriage is a marriage of under 10 years in duration. Under that, the presumption is that spousal support or alimony will be half the length of marriage. In a long-term marriage, which is a marriage of over 10 years, there is no set duration or ending period. Generally, that will occur if one spouse remarries, one spouse dies, or someone petitions the court to terminate or reduce support. There are other instances where you can reduce or terminate support due to cohabitation by the payee spouse or the spouse that receives spousal support. And then the difference between temporary and long-term support. Temporary support is support that the court makes interim prior to a judgment. The court will use the ex-spouse calculation, which is just a computer calculation, and it'll spit out a number. For permanent support, we look under the Family Code 4320 factors, which is a list A through, I believe, Q or N, which goes through and looks at each spouse's contributions during marriage, their age, their health, whether one spouse stayed at home to support the family, various other things. But that's the difference. But yes, spousal support where one party makes more than the other is almost always sought for. You don't have to, but very few people leave money on the table. The basic yardstick of child custody is what is in the best interests of that minor child. When we're looking at best interests, it is presumed that frequent and continuous contact between both parents is presumed to be in the child's best interests. Best interests we will take a look at the child's health, education, safety, welfare, morals. And it's an overall picture of what is best for the children. And don't confuse what is best for you as being what is best for the children. Don't say it is in my best interest and therefore it's in this child's best interest. You're going to lose straight off the bat. Everything needs to go down. What is in this child's best interest? It might be great for you to move an hour away, but is it in the child's best interest to go to their school and have an hour commute every day? Is it in the child's best interest not to see that parent that you hate? The answer is probably not. And so you need to take a long, hard look at what really is in this child's best interest. Take it apart from your own personal bias and your pride and really look down and see, what can I do with this other parent to make my child's life the best? Now, sometimes that's not possible because in a rare circumstance, that other parent is unfit. They're a drug addict. They have mental illness. Then, yes, you have to go to the mat, but start off saying, can I work out a reasonable relationship with this other party to fulfill the child's best interests? So if you're considering divorce or you're facing domestic violence or extreme child custody issues or any child custody issue, give Real Fathers' Rights a call. We have the capability and passion to help each and every one of you.